Hola chicos, bienvenidos. Hi guys, welcome to the class number 4. Welcome to Mini World. I just want to check if you are the one that are connected right now in the morning are able to hear me, okay? So please guys, go ahead and if you can hear me, I need you to let me know in the chat if you can hear me to be able to start the class, okay? So guys, also, I just want to know how are you? If everything is working for you guys. I see that there is sound, so yep, I'm able to continue. So, welcome to the class number 4, guys. As always, while we wait for another players to join to this class, to this master class, you can go ahead and you can join to this room to start the class. For this, you can see the UID in the top. With the UID in the top, you will be able to just access and play with me. We are going to take around 15 minutes to start the class. Okay? So in 15 minutes, we are going to start the class. Right now, we are just waiting for some players to join. And yeah. So guys, in this specific room, the one that you see in the top, you can find my UID. Okay, let me also type on the chat. Okay guys, I already placed the pin here. So you will be able to actually find the class and access. In the meanwhile, let me just start the class here. Okay, let's see. Alright, so right now, I'm going to take some time to play in this room. You remember that you can access this room just by my UID. The UID is pinned into the comments. So for those that are joining right now, we are taking some times while we start the class. We are going to take the max 15 minutes. It's just waiting a little bit while we wait for another players to join to the class, so we will be able to play together. For now, you can access to this room, the room 2769323, and with that we will be able to play together. So guys, once again, for those that are joining right now, you can access this room to be able to play while we wait for the other players. remember the room is the 2769323. Also, if you have some questions about the previous classes, just let me know into the comments. Okay guys, and yeah, also if you want to let me know from which country you are, let me know in the comments to let, yeah, just to interact with you guys and know where are you from. So guys, just a small recap. The last class we learned how to create or how to have some buildings techniques to create your map. Also, we learned some basic things about how to get the main idea of your map and some creative techniques to make this map unique. So, if you want to check, go ahead and just access to the previous channel videos. On there you can find the different information about this. Double kill! I see that Shelton is coming back. Hi Shelton, hi back. I see that you are coming to all the classes. Okay, I see that there's 6 people right now. So guys, to the ones that joined just right now, we are keeping just 15 minutes. In around 5 minutes more, we are going to start the class. We are just giving enough time to the players to join to the class. Okay guys? And yeah, if you have any question in regards to the mini event, or also in regards about this class, just let me know in the comments, okay? I see guys, so right now most of you are going to see that we changed the time or the schedule for this class. Most of the times we used to have this class in actually the evening in my side, or the morning in your side, but we changed the schedule because we find out that you guys were actually having a different schedule, so that's why we changed the time. If you want to keep the old time, just let me know in the comments, and we will be able to talk with the team. To actually start again the old schedule. Okay guys, right now we left 5 minutes more to start the class. Also remember that during this class you are going to receive some codes. You can use those codes to actually get some extra mini beans, some extra items. So just to let you know. So just to let you know, so if you want to call more players that can join to the live streaming, we are going to have some limited changes for the codes. So only the first 50 players are going to be able to claim the codes. Alright, you are seeing me or checking me die in real time. I'm not that good playing mini world. I'm actually very good creating games, but not very good playing these games. For those that didn't know me, I'm Jejo for mini world. Miniword. Probably you have seen some of my games. I'm the champion of the Miniword Block Art Got Talent 2019, and also I left like third place in the 2020 version of the Miniword Got Art. Miniword Block Art Got Talent. So just to let you know, and yeah, also guys, remember that during this class, the one that we are going to check today, I'm going to provide personally some codes for you that you can use to actually climb some items inside the game. Also, I'm going to show you some scripts that I'm creating for all of you guys. And yeah, you will be able to climb these codes. To climb these codes and get some extra rewards, some extra points in game, and also to have like more advanced features when the scripts that I'm going to provide you today. So give it in the class. In some point we are going to learn some basic codes. As an example, we are going to have to avoid the players to exit from the gameplays. Okay, we left 2 minutes to start the class, guys. So in 2 minutes we are going to start the class again, to let you know. And yeah. So guys, also to know, if you have some questions during the class, remember to ask. There's no problem with it. I'm just going to be pending to the class to be able to answer all your questions. Okay, that's going to be a little bit easy to play. So right now it's 6:15. We are going to start the class. In my end, it's 6:15. Of course, in your area, you are going to have a different time. So let me exit from MiniWord right now. I want to restart MiniWord because I think you're seeing my MiniWord in Spanish. And I just want to have the same language that you have, or the English language, because it's going to be very confusing for you and for all the players if you are going to have the same language you have. And that is, it was Spanish, okay? So moving back to MiniWord. While we start MiniWord, let me say you hi. Hi guys, I'm Jojo Cord from MiniWord. Welcome to the class officially. I noticed that there are some of you that already come to the previous classes. So for those that didn't come to the previous classes, just to let you know, we are right now doing an event for this class. We are working together in this specific class. The event is going to be Minicamp, and in Minicamp it's like a combination or a collection of classes that we are providing for you guys to learn how to be a developer, how to get money inside the game, and also in an event. So remember this, during this class you will be able to get these hours, the hours that you are seeing in the screen. It's just like a reminder. Hello, how are you, David? I see that you're coming back in the morning. So, what will be the prices? Once more, or once again, for those that are new in this class, the prices are going to be first an excellent adword, that is the first that you can see. In the top is going to have some real money award. And what you are going to get with this is all the performance, that the sends are good, that the triggers are good, that the plugins are good, and the game descent is outstanding. Second one, we are going to have the best learning award. Is the player that can make full use of the knowledge that you are going to have in this class, that can develop the skills and that can access to class. Then we are going to have the most creative, that actually the name is self-explanatory. You're going to get some money if you get an original map that is very uncommon, but it's actually very good. Finally, we have the best progress awards and how it works. So basically, it's for developers that are just, or not developers that are starting the game. And yeah, we need to check if the map works fine, if you are learning with it. Finally, we have the shortlist our words. That is a personal work that I'm going to do. I'm going to select the best words from you, the maps that are very good and that complete all the process, that have the gameplay, the layouts, all the classes that I teach in you. And those are going to receive a skin just for participating, okay? So, important things, guys, to be able to win in this event or to win the event and participate, you only need to assist to all the classes. Actually, some of you are just entering. So for those of you that are just entering into the class, remember that the previous classes are recorded right here. So in my channel, you will be able to find the previous classes. You will be able to find all the tutorials until the point that we are. Right now we are doing the fourth class, okay? Important things, guys, just to remind you, also we are going to have a time for you to submit the work. So this class ends the next week on the 6th of June. The same date you can start submitting your works. Of course, you can actually work right now in your maps, but you need to submit it in between the 6th of June to the 14th of June of this year. After that, around the 15th of June to the 18th of June, we are going to take some time to qualify your works to know what you are doing good, what are going to be the best works. And around the 19th or the 20th, we are going to publish the results, okay? Important things, guys, once again, this is the deadlines. So go ahead and if you just don't have those like deadlines, take a screenshot of this screen so you are going to save it into your phone. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you want to receive the next classes. With that, you are going to be able to see the next content, okay? For this class, guys, we have a lot of work, actually. But what we are going to do is first a small recap of the last class. That was something that we are going to use for this class, and it's just simple things. It's going to be very quickly. We are going to take only 5 minutes for that. The second part is going to be starting creating custom experience zones, and we are going to start with all the preparations. We are going to start to learn how to do some basic mini games like the ones that you see in my map when we play on the first class. Also, we are going to learn how to do the class schedule, so the players are going to know in which class they have to go. They are going to get a warning if they, yes, award actually if they complete the class. They are going to be punished also. So those mechanics we are going to learn it. This is going to be made with a script, and I'm going to teach you a script that I made for you guys that is very easy to implement. You only need to copy and paste and modify some things. Finally, we are going to learn how to start developing your own story. That was a question that all of you, or a lot of people, were asking me on the last class. And finally, we have like another couple of things. First, unlocking rooms. We are going to learn how to avoid players to access to some specific room. As an example, you can have a room that the player needs the key to be able to access. If the player doesn't have the key, the player is not going to be able to play. Also, we can have a lock in school. That means that the players are not going to be able to exit from the school. Finally, we are going to have some questions and answers. And if we have enough time, we are going to play together. And you are going to show me your maps. So I'm going to do a quick review of your maps, okay? For this class is the fourth class, as I mentioned before. We left 2 classes more. Those classes are going to be made on the next week. So it's just for you to be able to be pending of that. Go ahead and take a screenshot for this one. So the next class is going to be on the 5th of June. That means the next Saturday. And the Sunday, sorry, is going to be the last class, okay? For the next class, we are going to learn also not only how to do some basic items and blocks for this specific kind of maps, we are going to learn how to an advanced edition. That means that we are going to mess with the game files, so you're going to learn a lot. And in the final class, we are going to learn how to set up an NPC characters as stores, interactive. They are going to provide you missions, so you will be able to do all of that. And also we are going to start missing or working with the artificial intelligence that allow you to create more advanced features for your mobs. So important things again for this class, we are going to have some rewards, guys, so I need you to be pending in the comments. If we reach more than 50 views, we will be able to release the first one. If we get more than 150 views, we are going to release the second one, that are going to be some skin cards. We also have some skins and some mount charts, so please guys, if you know more people that want to access to this class to learn something about this mini word, just ask them to join. With that, we will be able to provide you the reward. So, for Minicamp English, for this English camp, we have a Discord channel. So you can access to that Discord channel and you will be able to receive some feedback in real time. So yeah, guys, go ahead and enter and I will be more than happy to answer you all the questions that you have on there. So for this class, once again, it's very important for you to have a piece of paper and also a pen because we are going to take notes, a lot of notes. And also probably we are going to do some drawing to plan your constructions, to plan your game. So just to let you know, we need a notepad. Also, I will require for you guys to have a computer. Why a computer? Because also you can use your phone. Of course, you can use your cell phone. The problem is that your cell phone is going to have a little bit of complications at the time of it is. Because what happens is that your cell phone is not going to have the same capabilities of your actual computer to edit the code. Of course, you can do it, yes, but it's going to be that much complicated. It's going to be a lot more complicated. So I personally recommend that you have a computer. It doesn't matter if it's a laptop or it's a computer from a desktop. The only thing that you need to do is to have a computer. So just to do a quick recap, guys, like a quick search or quick check-in about the class. Remember that in the last class, we learned some basic rules to do a construction to design your scenario where the players are going to play for this specific school simulator. So first, we left the first part that was use a visual reference to do the architecture. And I teach you in the last class how to search for those specific visual references on Pinterest. Second one, to create a clear design path for the start, so players will know where they have to go to actually start the game and learn where they have to interact. So that's very important. I teach you that is health and size matter. So also I teach you like a measure to know where you can place the information for the players and the players will be able to see it. Also, I let you know some specific part of the construction that can show the players some specific characteristics of your map. As an example, to build an epic map, to build a map that is going to look theatric or scary, and all that stuff. Also, I teach you how to use a block palette to give a unity to all your map. I recommended to use some contrast to let the player know the different elements about your area. To start creating in modular design, instead of creating block by block, you are going to create with parts and you are going to copy and paste and adapt everything. And how to keep efficient the building so players are not going to have that much lag when they access to the room, okay? So now for this class, we are going to start with the custom experience zones. So probably you are trying to guess how it works. For those that actually are coming from time to time, I'm going to show you what it means, okay? So let me switch back to mini words. Okay. Right now you're supposed to be able to see my mini word in my screen. It's loading right now. And it's going to take probably a little bit. But let me explain a little bit more about how these custom experience zones are going to work. These are spaces inside the map that will allow you to play mini games or to have some specific permissions that in most of the part of the map you won't be able to use. So let me show you an example because I know, guys, that you are better taking examples to know what we are going to do. So for those that already assist to the first and the second and all the classes, you already know how it works. In this school game, you are going to have two different roles, the student of the teacher. If you choose whatever you choose, you are going to have different abilities or different skills to play the game. So in all the school, you are going to have like different abilities. One of them is going to be, or to have like the ability to buy items and all the things, but you won't be able to attack players. A custom experience zones is going to be the last floor of the school. In the last floor of the school, you are going to activate in the attack mode. So that means that you can fight with other players here if you want to do like a small fighting game inside the mini world game. Okay? Also, for those that remember this, if you access to the soccer room, let me go to the soccer room very quickly here. As you see, now that we just exit from the room, the last floor, sorry, we are not able to fight anymore. So we won't be able to attack other players. But as an example here, on the soccer room, as soon as you access to the soccer room, you are going to activate the soccer mode. And you will be able to play soccer. If you exit from the room, this specific mode is going to be disabled. Also, if you start running in this specific racing track, you are going to start at the racing mode mini game, and only in this area you will be able to get money if you complete one lap in this specific one. So let me show you. We are going to complete the lap. And when we complete the lap, we are going to get some money. Check the money right here. We are almost on there. Just a second. And as you see, I get 1 coins just to complete this. And this also works for the basket and for other parts. And that's what we are going to learn right now, okay? So let me show you also the basketball part, because I think it's very important for you guys to know how it works. All right, so also if you access to the basketball part, as you see, you change the mode and you will be able to play basketballs. Okay, this is like an easy example of about how it works. And if you check, even also the ball is going to feel the changes, okay? So those are going to be very simple changes, or very simple mini games that we are going to learn how to do. So moving back to the presentation, guys, what we are going to do or how it works, okay? So for the player in general, right here, you are going to see that we have like different things for the player, and are going to be that the player in game to get money, to actually start making your money to your game, make real money, to get real money inside the game. This player is going to have like different items, okay, or different ways to use the game. As this is a school simulator, the player is going to be able to get some decorations. Of course, as the player needs to keep it like healthy and don't die, the player needs to get food, and also the player can get some items to have an extra layer of on the game dynamics, like getting items to send flowers to other player, to get some extra features on some mini games. Like as an example, in the swimming pool, they can get some couple of like wings to do a better jumps and things like that. Okay. So that is like the first part of the main objective of your map, because with that you are going to be able to generate real money. And for this, the player is going to have a reward item. In our case, it's going to be a coin. You would, depending on the school that you design, it could be a different thing. As an example, if it's a post-apocalyptic school, the scraps can be the money, or if it's a monster school, like the brains of the humans can be the coin. But what happens is that with this reward coin, the player will be able to get the decorations, to get the foods, to get the items, the special items. So in the game dynamics, we need a way to get the player, or for the player to get these coins. So the first one is going to be by playing minigames. So apart from the normal classes, the player is going to get a reward, correct? But in the minigames, the player is going to get some extra coins if the player performs some extra tricks. So the player, even if the player doesn't pay with real money inside the game, still will be able to play it. So if another way that the player is going to get those coins are going to be by assisting to the class. What does it mean? That the players follow the schedules and actually do what the teacher asks the player to do. The player is going to have like that specific reward, is going to get some money to be able to buy decorations, to get some food, and to get some items. And finally, the most important one, that is the one that we are going to use, if the player wants to speed up a little bit the process, wants to get items faster, the player can do it with real money. So the player can pay actually to mini words by checking some ads or by getting some mini coins. And inside of that, the player is going to get the reward item that is going to be the mini coins or the real coins inside the game, okay? So we are going to start with this. For this, we are going to divide this specific way to get these experience zones and get the money in 3 different triggers. First is going to be by playing mini games, which we are going to do with triggers, guys. So you are going to learn how to do some basic triggers. The second one is going to be by assisting to the classes. With that, we are going to do it with scripts. Don't worry, don't check it like that. I know, guys, that you think that the strings or the scripts are going to be a little bit hard. But don't worry, right now I have like the script already made. You only need to copy and paste and change some things. With that, you are going to learn how the script works and you are going to have to implement this very quickly. And finally, the player will be able to pay with real money. So for pay with real money, we are going to develop a developer store in which player can get those items, okay? So we are going to start by designing the mini games, okay? And for this, we are going to start by creating custom experience zones for mini games, okay? So before starting even with this, we are going to create our main part or our main system, and it's going to hit a coin, okay? Because based on this coin, the player is going to be able to just get the items to, also you will be able to award the player, okay? For this, let me switch to mini world again, to full screen. Yeah. Now you are able to see the full screen, right? Okay. So in the full screen, what I'm going to ask you to do is to go ahead and use the last map that we create. So remember that we were creating some specific game. All right, so once you select that map, we are going to create an item, an MP item that is going to be our coin. For this, you are going to select from here the plugin editor that is going to be this one, the one that is on the 4 icons, these 4 yellow icons at the right corner. You're going to choose the one that looks like an arrow pointing a file. And on there, you are going to have this new interface. You have like different tabs here. In the tabs, you are going to select props. Props is actually allow you to create some objects, some items inside the game. So we are going to hit add. And in add, we are going to create a new one, okay? When you create a new one, it's going to have this screen that is going to ask you to edit some original props or to create a new one. So we are going to hit in the yellow part that is create. On there, you are going to get this new screen. You are going to hit here again in plus. Probably you are going to have less items than I, but you are going to hit in the plus symbol and it's going to show you this new screen. We have here different tools to create the different like plugins. You can have one for mixed items, one for tools, one for bows. Bows are going to be made different than firearms. Also some ammos that can be the arrows or the bullets. The firearms, some food, some lucky bags to create random loots, and finally some equipment. So we are going to select the MISC. MISC is going to provide us a basic interface. The only thing that you can do with this is use the items to get some skills, to have the amount of items that the player can handle, and the model and everything about this specific one. So we are going to create a coin. You can name it as coin or dollars or whatever you want. As I mentioned before, be creative. As an example, if you have a zombie school, you can use brains instead of money to be able to interchange in the market. For now, for my map, I'm going to use coins, so it's going to be clearer for you. You can give a custom color. To give a custom color, you need to use the pound icon and the initial letter of the color that you are going to use. As an example, red is going to be R. Now, for the description, just play a simple description. Use this item to trade or buy some items. And yeah, you can actually highlight some parts to trade. As an example, we are going to make it in color green, so just put a this specific pound symbol, then the letter G in uppercase. And we are going to end the highlight, we are going to use pound again and the letter N, but in lowercase. And yep, you see, now it's in color green. Now we are going to choose the model. Of course, I also think that I'm going to change this one for color green and the name coin. So you can choose whatever model that you want. In my case, I already create a miniature with some looking icons like that are going to look like coins. So I'm going to use one of them. I'm going to use this one. Of course, I'm going to use this one because it's going to look more like a coin. And yeah, for the attributes, we are going to choose the number in the stack, select 99. With that, the players are going to have like a lot of item stock. Later on the next classes, I'm going to teach you how to increment this to any number, okay? And finally, this part is you are going to keep it empty, just saved. And once you save your coin, just add it into your game, but doing the check mark and hit add. Right now, you will have the coin, we have the base to start coding our map. And how you can be sure that you actually are starting with this? Just open the settings in your map, select developer, then select plugin, and there you go. You are going to have your coin right now. As I mentioned before, this coin is not going to do anything. It's just a coin to use in game to interchange later or to provide some rewards to the player, okay? So at the beginning, we are going to do some cool thing, and it's at the beginning we are going to give some coins to the player when he starts the game, okay? To doing this, the only thing that you need to do is to hit right here in the part where it says developer tools, that is like the card map, like the map with a small pencil on it. You are going to have this that says basics, okay? So according to the map rules that we set up on the last class, we are going to hit team settings. We are going to provide the coins first to the players. So for the players, when it says initial items, we are going to set up a none. Then we are going to hit edit in shortcut bar. And we are going to hit edit here to be able to see our coin. What we are going to do is to click on the coin and drag it to the bar. So this is going to be the main bar, the player, the bar that uses the player when he accesses, and they are going to be the initial items. So don't put the coin at first, because most of the times the player is going to use those first spaces. We are going to use the last one to open our developer store. So we are going just to put the coins right here. When you put it, it will allow you to, you will display like this slider that will allow you to choose how many coins is going to receive the players. At the beginning, we are going to give just 10 coins to the player, and we are going to confirm and confirm again. Now we are going to give some money to the teachers. For this, just do the same. Select the team teachers, that is going to be the team number 2. Go to initial items, turn on the custom configuration of setup, and here on the setup bar for the shortcut, you are going to hit and edit, and you are going to have this screen again, right? We are going to do just the same. We are going to hit and edit. Now we are going to select this specific item. We are going to drag it to the previous place, to the last one. But as the teacher is going to have like another role into the game, we are going to give more money to the teacher. We are going to confirm. Right now, when you start the game, as you see right now, you are going to receive the coin right here in the place that you place it into the setup, okay? Right now, we already have the initial setup, so the players are going to be able to receive the awards, okay? So now that we have like this part, I'm going to teach you how to do some easy activators for areas, okay? So as you notice, we have like different scripts, different mini games. Those mini games are going to be activated whenever the player accesses to some specific point, correct? So The first one that you notice when we made the game, and when I show you the game, it was, as an example, the area where you can fight. Okay? So imagine in your school you want the players to fight. That's going to be the easiest code to start the game. So imagine that in this area, let's do something quicker here. So imagine that your school is a fighting school, just to play you as an example, a medieval fighting school. So you want to have an area in which actually players will be able to fight because, I don't know, the knights needs to be able to fight, to be able to gain more strength, to gain more power. So imagine that in this area, it's like a specific arena, and when the players go into this arena, the players are going to activate some features to be able to fight, okay? So basically what you are going to do is you are going to change the permissions for the player inside the game. How you are going to do? Imagine that this is going to be only the arena, the area where the players will be able to fight. For doing this, you are going to use the tool mode. If you are in your computer, use F3, the key function, number 3, or just hit on there. You are going to get this new interface that allows you to place some areas and some specific locations. So just hitting the area 1, that is going to be the number 1, you are going to recognize it because the color is blue. And what you are going to do is to place an area in this location. You are going to select the area in which players are going to be able to fight. As an example, we can do this area. As always, I highly recommend it to change the name. For this, just hit the letter B, or hit on this icon. And you will be able to change the name by just hitting on this icon of settings and rename. So let's say fighting area. Okay? Okay, guys. So what we want is that the players will be able to activate some permissions when they access here. And how you can do that? It's very easy, guys. For this, we need to change the permissions. So right now we are going to do it with the scripts. We are going to create two scripts. The first one is going to activate or disactivate, or give the player the permission to fight when they access to the area. And the second one is going to remove that permission when the player exits from the area. So with that, we are going to be sure if the player dies or if the player teleports, it's going to detect that it's not anymore in the area, and it's going to take off that specific feature from that player, okay? So for starting to create this script, I need you to go ahead and select this specific button in the top, the one that says Developer Tools. Once you select that one, let me use my glasses, guys, because I'm getting like, I'm not the best seeing the screen. I'm a little bit blind for saying something like that. So, guys, once you open these developer tools, you are going to have two options here, the scripts and the trigger section. I need you to go to the trigger section, okay? So right now you're supposed to be able to see my screen. Give me a second. Okay, guys. So right now you're seeing my screen and we have like this initial interface. At the right side, you are going to see this. Just to let you know, trigger set is like all the triggers options that you have on there, like the group of triggers. It's very important to rename it. Let's say this one is going to be experience or mini games, okay? Perfect. Inside mini games, you are going to add a new trigger. To the description from the trigger is going to be fighting area off. And you need to change the name. Remember that I asked you to create two triggers. We are going to create the first one. It's going to be to activate the fighting area or the arena. So let's see, it says arena on. So with that, we are going to know that this trigger turns on the arena. We are going to select event. Guys, when you select event, you are going to search for a specific event. And it's going to be under player. The event is going to be player enters arena. When you get this, you are going to get a red specific part, but that says area. The area means, in red, means that we left to set up this parameter. You can see here, all the things that are in red are missing parameters. So we need to set up. For this, just hit on there and hit on choose arena. and will allow you to choose your arena. You are going to choose the one that says fighting arena and or fighting area, sorry. And yeah, with that you are going to be in the right part, okay? Now, what we are going to do when the player enters to arena, we are going to make first the player to change some specific features about it. So, as an example, we are going to send a message to the player to let the player know that he's accessing to the enter arena. So just hitting display chat info. Remember, red means that we need to fill the information. So we are going to keep everything like it is, except this part. We are going to select content is, and we are going to input the character. We are going to say to player, you activate the fighting mode. And we are going to give this color, okay? So we are going to give our green color. The player will know with green that the activation is made. So yeah, just hit on here. Once you have this, you are going to see that the trigger already works. It works, but we left to set up a lot of things. So when we access here, oh, as you see, we receive a chat message that says, you activate the fighting mode, okay? Also, you can make it like a text in the front of the player. And right now, we are going to edit the last part, okay? So once you move back to the trigger edition, we are going to add a new event. We are going to, a new action, sorry. We are going to select again the player. And what we are going to do is, we are going to hit on here, attribute settings. And we can select, as an example, if you want to have like something different. So as an example, if the player wants to fight, we can change the melee attack, the sneak speed, the swim speed. So the players, as an example, will have to fight like not like running. They need to fight like front to front. So we are going to change the speed, as an example, like instead of having a 10, that is the normal speed of the player, we are going to have a fight. So we are going to reduce the speed to the half. Now we are going to hit players again, and on here there is an option to change actually the permissions. Let me search for it. Okay, just a second here. Okay, I don't know if it's this one. I think it's this one, but let me do a double check here. Okay, yes, it's the player toggle. Change player toggle, and it will allow us to change some permissions. So now player can be attackable. That means that it needs to be on. Also, we are going to copy and paste, and we are going to say that the player also is going to be, let's say, defeatable. So player can die once he accesses to this area. Now we are going to do another one. We are going to copy and paste. With this, we are going to be sure that the player is going to copy this one, and we are going to change another one. I see. It's, as an example, we can actually change the item destruction off, okay? So let's see. Block destruction is going to be off, okay? So inside this area, the player won't be able to break blocks. And let me show you. So once we access this area, our speed is going to be reduced. As you see, I have the half of the speed. I won't be able to break some blocks or to destroy it. Oh, I think that one doesn't work. Yeah, as you see, we cannot destroy the block. And now also I will be able to attack other players if the players were right here. Now we have the first part that is activating a mode with custom scripts. Hi, how are you? You are a silo channel. All right, so welcome. So as you see right here, you actually have the first script that allows you to activate the area. We left to give the player more show. So let's do like an effect for the players, so also the player know that actually is entering into this area. So select player again, display text to the player. This is going to show like a screen that says you activate the fighting mode, so also the player will notice that. When summoned, just place and copy. You activated the fighting mode. And once again, we are going to just hit on green here. So we are going to make the player know that that person activates the mode, okay? Okay, I missed some letter here, yeah. Now we are going to add an effect or create an effect in the area so the player is going to notice by sound. So first we are going to add the sounds. To make this, we are going to check sound effect, turn effects on players or in position. Let's say players. Sorry, it's not this one, it's the other one. Let's do it again. Just a second. Sound effect. Okay, turn on effect on players. We are going to select the player set as a player set. We are going to choose, actually, no, this one is also not going to work. So remember guys that we have like different types of sound. I didn't check that, but as an example here in sounds, let's search. We have two different ones. This is for a player group. We need to select the one that is only for players. Turn on effects on players is going to be this one. Now we are going to choose at the sound. So most of the notifications are going to be here in mark. Select something that is like not too much notorious. It's going to be like something that doesn't distract the player that much. So the player is going to know, but it's not going to be that dramatic. So I think let's use this one. So you can hear that one, okay? With this button, you can hear. On here, you can say that the volume is 100%, key is 1, and false is okay. If you keep this on, the sound is going to reproduce over and over, so we don't want that. And finally, we are going to provide some effect to the player. So we are going to play a special effect on position of the player. And the effect is going to be one from the template library. So as an example, we can use this one to let the player know that he is actually activating this mode. And now let me show you. We are outside the area that we are going to create with the custom permissions. Hello Fabian, how are you? Welcome back. Hello Anna, welcome back. Good morning in your area. So when the player joins, as you see, now we receive the message and we receive the sound. So the player now will be able to fight and will be able to have a fighting game here, but he is going to also know that he activated that mode. Now we already have the activation mode for this one, okay, and also the effect. But we left something important, and is that right now the player is not turning off that option. So for turning off that option, for setting up the normal values, again, the player needs to deactivate this trigger when he hits it. I'm very good, Anna. How about yourself? Everything is good in your area? All right, so for changing again this information, what we are going to do is that we are just going to copy and paste this trigger. For this, in this area, you are going to select the three small dots and we are going to select copy. Now it's going to ask us where the player is going to copy this information. We are going to select the trigger set that says minigames and you are going to have the same trigger. We need first to change the name. Change the name, just keep arena off. It's going to be the one that is going to work best. And now we are going to change this trigger. So the previous trigger was activated when you access to the area. Now we need to activate it when the players leave the area. For this, just remove this one. And now add a new one. For the new one, select player. And instead of using player enters arena, we are going to select player leaves the arena, okay? So delete the first one. So let's just select the one that says arena. We are going to select the area. The area, again, so just choose area, select the red part and choose the area where you are going to change that information. Select fighting area. And that's it. So now this is going to activate, but it's going to do the same that the previous trigger does. So we need to change the information on it. So what we are going to do at first is change this display chat info to the player. And what we are going to do is the content is going to be different. So we are going to select here. We are going to change the word activated. We're going to put it in red, and inside we are going to put it disable. Okay? Remember, red from color red is the first letter, and then the word disable fighting mode. With this, we are going to let the player know in the chat that he is not anymore in fighting mode. We are going to change the speed, just hit again to 10, that is the normal value inside the game. Then we are going to change here the permissions back again. So remember that we set up attackable on. Now we are going to change it to off. Okay? So as you see it, we have also defeatable. We are going to change it to off. To change it to off, just select on. And we just select on, you are going to have this one that says options. And then there you can have the option to turn it off. Okay? Finally, player can destroy blocks. It needs to be on. So let's move it back on. And finally, we are going to give just another message. This is going to be the main screen message, the one that you see from the bottom to the top. Okay? And it's going to say it's the same thing, disabled in color red. So remember, we are going to remove the G from green, and we are going to place the R from red, and we are going to hit disable fighting mode. Now we can use the same like sound and effect, and let me show you. Now we are just having no text. I'm just going to text something here to be able to clean the screen. Now accessing to the area, the fighting area that we create inside our school. As you see, we activate the modes. Right now we are not able to break the blocks completely. We are working at half of the speed, and there is no players here to test, but you will be able to hit the players. Now, if an exit, it's going to tell me that the mode has been disabled, and now I can run, I can break some blocks. Let's test. And I can change the permission. So, as you see, we already create an area in which player can change just by accessing. You don't need to access only for the door, you can access for any part, but the player is going to activate the fighting zone. So this is not only going to work for your map and school simulator, it's also going to work for fighting games, for other kind of games. It's a very nice feature. And yeah, if you exit from any area, it's going to activate or deactivate this feature, okay? So we already have the first part, the first small custom area. So now let me show you how you can do in the same location the actual mini game for football or for basketball. Okay, so let's switch to edit mode. We are going to destroy all of this because we are going to create a different one. Oh no, let's create a different area better, okay? So just imagine here that the area that I'm going to create in the middle is going to be the soccer field, okay? So let's do it from here. Let's do a small one because it's just an example for you to see. And let's say that this area that is going to be in color green, it's going to be the soccer field, okay? So this area is going to be the soccer field. What we want is that the players are going to activate the soccer mode where they actually access to this area, and when they exit, they are going to remove that specific feature. Okay, so what you are going to do is just do like the area where they are going to put the ball. Okay, very quickly you can do that. Of course, this is just an example. Remember that in your map you are going to create a space where the ball can enter easy. Now let me show you how it works the first thing. So to make the players have like a notice or to get warned when they actually get the ball inside this, maybe I have to increase the size of this a little bit to make the ball be enterable, okay? All right, let's say this is going to be one of the porteries. So when the ball enters here, we are going to show some effects to the players. Don't worry, for this part, you don't need triggers now for those effects. The only thing that you need to do is to have some blocks. So you are going to use the soccer trigger, so put it in your inventory. Now on circuits, switch to circuits, and you are going to just take this one, that is going to be the lowsing device. And finally, in items, you are going to get this specific item that is going to be the ribbon fireworks. To get 64 of them, just hit the K shift or just move it in your mobile device. Remember to have at least 2 of them. And we're almost ready to go. What we need to do is just to place the net score inside the frame, this portery frame. And when you have all that area covered, you need to place this device facing any side, okay? It doesn't matter if it's here on the top or if it's just next to the net score, but be sure that the players won't be able to interact with it, okay? And what you are going to do, by placing it, you only are going to put those items inside that are going to be this one, the ribbon fireworks. And yeah, you are going to, with that, let the player know the effect. So remember, this is going to be a soccer field. Just put a ball inside the soccer field. And that's it. Let me show you what is going to happen, okay? When you push the ball inside, it's going to do that effect. That much simple. On this, you don't need to have like any special knowledge of triggers. Now, of course, you need to cover this, or players are going to lose the ball. And of course, you need to design like a covered area so the ball is not going to be able to exit from the field. As you see, now we are going to activate the soccer mode when the players access to this area, and how you are going to do that. So remember that for the last activity, we create this area around this. Correct? We are going to do just the same right here. So hit the tool mode. For hitting the tool mode, you need to hit or select this area or just type the letter F3. On there, you are going to get this specific new interface. Select the area that is going to activate the soccer field for the players. That is going to be your soccer field. Once you put the area on, remember to rename it so you will know which area is it. So select region number 2 and select soccer field. And just give me a second. I need to check something here. I need to check your comments just to see. Do a double check if you are giving some specific feedback or you need some specific extra help here. And just give me a second here. Okay. So now that you place a soccer field on here, you are going to have the device already named. You are going to have already like the information for this one. Okay. So what I need you to do now, guys, is we are going to start setting up this area. Okay. So once again, just hit on the X. To exit from this mode, just press F3 key or just hit on here. Now we are going to go ahead and access to this menu. And on this menu, you are going to create a new one, okay? So remember we placed area on and area off. We are going to create also 2 triggers, the one that activates the soccer field and the one that disactivates the soccer field, okay? So rename it, say soccer on. And we are going to start again by placing an event on here. The event is going to be player enters area, select the area. We're going to choose soccer field. What we are going to do again is to create first a message to the player. So let's hit here and say display text to the player. On here we are going to select the character screen. We are going to say to the player, you are playing soccer. And we are going to resolve this one. Also for this, just hit this specific hashtag or pound icon or character and select the R. Then end the code and it's going to look like this. You are playing soccer. Okay, So important things, I use the red. For activating things, please use the green one. Now, the simple thing of how you can do to activate the soccer mode, just go ahead, go to the player, and you are going to give an item to the player because MiniWord already have a soccer game created. The only thing that you need to do is to activate the item. So remember, red means that we need to follow or fill that parameter. Select item type, template library, and function block, or all the options, sorry. Let's find that one, okay? So, it's not going to be in decorations. So let me see. Where it's going to be that one? I think it's going to be in functional. No, it's not going to be in functional. Consumables. No, material. So no, it's going, okay, probably it's going to be in tool. Yes, it's going to be in tool. So select this item. It's going to be the soccer skirt. When you select it, the player is going to be able to access to the soccer mode. So right now, check. If I enter here, just with few triggers, I will be able to play soccer. Of course, and if you see, if I exit right now, there is no change because we didn't remove that option now. But yeah, right now the player will be able to play soccer, okay? So once again, when you access, it's saying soccer mode. But as just if you see right here, it's creating like a lot of skirts every time that I access and exit from here. So what I need you to do is to create also the exit trigger from this one, okay? So we are going to go again to edit mode. Once you are in edit mode, you are going to just copy and paste, just like the last time that we did. We are going to copy, select the group of triggers that we are going to use. Once we are in there, we are going to rename it as off. So that means that this trigger is going to turn off the soccer mode, okay? Now, what we are going to do is to remove this one. We are going to add a new item, okay? So go to player, go to player. Instead of use props or obtain props, what we are going to do is to remove those props, okay? So for this, first add event, hit on event, hit player, and hit player leaves from area. That's going to activate the trigger when the players exit from the soccer field. In area, select the soccer field. Okay, and now for actions, you are going to select to first tell the player that the soccer mode is off. You are not, and let's put it in uppercase. Let's use the red color. And yeah, let's remove this part, and now it's going to say you are not playing soccer. Now for this, instead of adding an item, we are going to delete that specific one, and we are going to remove the item that we just create to the player. So for this, we are going to select to remove. Remember, don't select discard, select remove item. We are going to select the item type, so select template, again select in tools. Once you are in tools, select the soccer skirt, okay? We are going to select one, okay? So we only are going to remove one soccer skill, and we are going to play mode. Now let me show you. I enter to the field, and I will be able to play soccer. Okay? So I will be able to play soccer, but if I exit from the field, now I cannot play soccer anymore. So as you see, it's a cool mini game that you can do in less than 5 minutes. You see? And now we have a functional mini game that the players can use to play in the break inside the school simulator game. So right now it may look a little bit normal. Let me show you how it looks when you actually create all the space for it. So once more, I'm going to switch back to this graffiti school simulator. I'm going to play as a student. And the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the soccer field, okay? And once more, once I access to the soccer field, that is a little bit more developed, we are going to have just the same features that I showed you. The difference is that the soccer field, of course, is more decorated, more well-ended, and it has the limits to avoid the ball just to exit. But as you see, it's just going to be the same. It's going to be the same effect and that we made in 5 minutes. And if you already checked this trigger, your homework is going to be to do also the basketball game one, because the basketball game is going to be the same. You just need to do the same for be able to do this game. Okay, so let me show you once more. Let me go ahead here. Okay, probably it wasn't the best idea to go to the water, but yeah. As you see here, it's just the same. It's at the same trigger that I showed you to activate the soccer mode. Okay, and as you see, when you exit, it's going to have the same. The only difference is that instead of the soccer net, you are going to use that block that is going to be the baseball net, but it's going to be the same. As you see, it works just perfectly like the one that you are seeing right now, okay? So guys, we already know how to do some basic things like some specific scenarios where the players can actually activate some specific permissions for some areas, and also some specific minigames, simple minigames in some points, correct? So I think we are on the half of the class. Hello, how are you guys? I see that Nikita is welcome, and I cannot pronounce your name. I really don't know your name, but welcome, and thank you to say hello, teacher. Also, to the previous player, as I don't know your language, I don't know Chinese, I cannot pronounce your name, but hello and thank you so much for saying hello. So, right now we already did a couple of things in our map. The first thing that we made is just to create those mini simple trigger games that you can use to play, correct? Now, we can do some advanced triggers to create another games, okay? So imagine that in your game, in your school, the school simulator that you are creating, you are going to do also, as an example, a parkour course, or the one that I showed you before, that it was like the let me switch to miniboard, like the track path where you can actually complete some racing and win the game. For this, you can use also the areas, the same system that we are creating, but this is going to be a little bit more complicated, okay? So let me show you, for this specific game, the one that about the parkour, we are going to just make the player wins or get some hours, get a coin after he completes all the course, okay? So let's do this. Of course, as this is going to be a fast example, I'm going to show you an easy parkour that you can complete. Okay, let's see. Let's do a here, another two, and finally to here. And once we reach this part, there's going to be a big platform where you can get the award, okay? So, how you're going to do to get some points inside of it, inside of this parkour course? What we are going to do is that when the player completes the parkour, the player is going to get 1 coin. And once he completed the parkour course, of course, is going to be teleported back to the beginning, and he can start again, and he can do some training, or he can go to the next part of the parkour, okay? You can implement that game. This also is going to work to do like a tracking system. That means, as an example, if this was like a racing field, if the player completes a lap, it's going to get a point. So it's like a way to make the players to get some extra coins inside the game, okay? So you can use the same. The only difference is that you are going to place it in a plain situation or in a more like dynamic situation, okay? So for the parkour, to do this system very quickly, we are going to use the tool mode. Now we are going to select to create a location. Okay, the location is going to be the initial location. Select a location that where your players are going to start to do the parkour or the racing. You are going to use here access and change the name of the location, select parkour or racing, whatever you are doing. All right, so now we are going to create two regions, okay? So the first one is where the players are going to start to do the parkour. So we are going to switch back here to location. Remember, location is blue, to area. Area is going to be blue, location is going to be yellow. Remember always that, okay? We are going to select our first area, that is going to be this one. We are going to select a second area, that is like a checkpoint. So we are going to be sure that the players needs to complete all the parkour system. And finally, we are going to get the third area, where is the player gets the point, okay? So right now we have 3 areas and one location. We are going to also change the name of the areas. So the area about the parkour initial, but it's going to be parkour 0, okay? The second one is going to be renamed as a parkour number 1. And the final one is going to be renamed as a park number 2, okay? Remember, those numbers are going to be important. And what we are going to do is to create a trigger. So the trigger, well, actually is going to be 4 triggers, and it's going to be easy. For this, we are going to use some variables, okay? So guys, a variable is some specific pattern triggers that allows you to have like a specific value. So for this one, we are going to create a new trigger set. We are going to change the name for parkour or racing, whatever you are going to have. Let's do an abbreviation for it, park. We are going to have the first trigger, and it's going to be named as a park 0. Remember that we have park 0, park 1, and park 3. This is going to be park 0. Okay. Now, before the start, we are going to create a variable here. We are going to create a private variable. The private variable needs to be a value, okay? Now in value, we are going to create the name of the variable. It's the name of the information that is going to be saved in there. So we are going to play parkour current checkpoint, okay? And the default value is going to be 0. All right, we already have our variable here. So we are going to start to do this process. So first, we are going to tell the system to start this trigger when the players enters to the area that is going to be parkour 0. So choose the arena or the area and select parkour 0. So when players enters to parkour 0, we are going to let the player know that he needs to complete a parkour. And so we are going to just hit on here on where it says player. And we are going to let the player that the player has a new mission. So select a chart screen and says you can place mission in color red. So remember to set color red, just use pound, the letter R. Then at the end of the word, pound and the letter N in lowercase. And with that, you are going to color all the things that are inside those specific tags. Complete parkour to win a coin, okay? Now, we are going to activate a new feature, and it's going to be that if the player access to that area, we are going to set up a variable. So assigned, correct? Assigned, it's going to be, for now, set up to value, and we are going to select the value. For select the variable that we create, you are not going to see it here because it's a private variable. For selecting a private variable, you need to select function library, select player, and select player private variable. On there, you are going to see the variable. It's going to be this one. And we are going to set it as a 0. So remember, checkpoint 0 is going to set up the variable as a 0. Now, for the second one, we are going to copy and paste, and we are going to rename it as a parkour 1. Okay, so that's this checkpoint in the middle. For this, we are going to change arena, and we are going to select parkour 1. And as you guess here, we are going to select the same thing, but we are going to change it to 1 because that person is accessing to the part 1. Okay? And finally, sorry, we are going to copy again this one because we have 3 checkpoints. We are going to copy in here. We are going to rename it and we are going to say parkour 2. Okay? Once again, just match the numbers and the thing that we are doing. So when the player access to the parkour 2 part, select this one and change it to 2. Okay? And what we are going to do is that the players are going to have some checkpoints here, okay? So to be sure that the players needs to restart over and it's not going to do like cheating by just moving around this area. So imagine the player completes the parkour course and yeah, it says, oh, every time I enter here I get a point, so I'm going to just jump from here to make some money. To avoid that and make the player start the course again to be able to win another coin, we are going to add some conditions. So the conditions are going to be in the next one. To activate this checkpoint, the player needs to have to be or to pass first to this one. And to activate this one, the player needs to, the last checkpoint that the player used needs to be this one. If the player just jump from here to here, is not going to receive any award because that person didn't complete the course, okay? For doing this, what we are going to do is to add some specific conditions here. So the first one is going to be that if the player were in the last position, so that means that we need to check this variable, okay? So if the player, well, let's select a numerical condition. Okay, guys, so I'm just checking the chat. Hello, guys. Hello, Raven. Hello, Cute Pro. Hi, welcome to Vietnam. I know that most of you guys are right now from Vietnam. I see. That's very cool. A Japanese middle school. That's going to be very cool. Oh, hi from Malaysia. How are you? All right, so to continue with the class, guys. So in conditions, we are going to select value. Remember that we need to select a private variable, and private variables are not going to appear here. They are going to appear right here. So select on here, then select player, and select player private variable. On there, you are going to have the private variable. For this, you need to select the actual variable that we create, that is parkour current checkpoint. And we are going to be sure that to get the point in the first one, the player needs to have the last checkpoint activated. So remember, the name of the last checkpoint is going to be the number 2. Once again, let me show you again in the areas. So the part that is set up here is going to be the parkour part number 2. So that's the number that we are going to place here. So if the player has a number 2, it's going to receive the award, okay? So now we are going to just copy this and paste it into the next one. And this time, we are going to do something different. So to activate the parkour course number 1, the player needs to have this value in the previous parkour point. That is going to be the parkour point 0. Once again, to show you guys, the parkour point 0 is going to be the start. The part 1 is going to be the middle, and the part 2 is going to be the end. So to activate this specific checkpoint, the player needs to have the parkour checkpoint in the number 0. Okay? And moving back, as you've seen, we need to place in this one the last one that we left, that is the parkour number 1. So we are going to copy, paste this here, and we are going to change it again. This time we are going to place the number 1 on it, okay? And yeah, now the player is only going to be able to complete or get the coin if the player completes all the course. So we are going to move back to this one, okay? And we are going to add the reward. So the reward is going to be that the player is going to get an item. And remember that we create the item. It's going to be the coin that we create before. Because remember that the coins are going to be the main money inside the game. With this, the player can get food, can get decoration, and also you are going to do some specific mini games with this one. So we are going to add 1 coin for completing the course of whatever coins you wanted. Okay, let's see, that is going to be a little bit difficult. So let's say 5 coins instead of 1. So when this item is going to be saved, let's tell the player here, that the player completes the mission, okay? And finally, in this one, in the last checkpoint, what we are going to do is to let the player know that they complete the course. So for this, we are going to change the text that we place here, and we are going to text mission complete instead of just mission. So for this, we are going to remove those tags, and we are going to set in green mission complete. And let's say reward 1 coin, okay, or 5 coins, whatever coins you want to give to the player. With that, the player is going to know that that person completes the mission. So also let's change this color to color green. Remember, hashtag G in uppercase to change the color. And yeah, what we are going to do with this, we are going to be sure that the player is going to receive the award. Now we need to teleport back the player to the bottom. So for this, just hit on player, change current location. So it's this one, and select the location that we create. So choose location and parkour, okay? And now for the middle checkpoint, we are going to update this text and says checkpoint, save it, okay? So let's put it on blue so the player is not going to be confused. And yeah, let me show you how it works now, okay? So let's move back to miniwork. Okay, we are going to just move in this area. And as you see, nothing is happening right now because we are not completing the parkour. So we complete the parkour. Right now it says checkpoint, save it. And now I get the coin. As you see here, I have more coins and it's telling me that complete the mission. So as an example, what I want to do some cheats, and as an example, I place a letter right here. Let's put a letter. Let's do like a shortcut for it, and let's say this is not going to complete the parkour system. If I don't complete the parkour in the right way, as an example, doing some cheat, nothing is going to happen. You see? So that's why we need to create this system, okay? So let me show you again if I complete the parkour course in the right way. I will be able to get the award, okay? And yep, that's how you do a parkour mini game inside your school. Let me show you another example. So the same system that I built for you is the same system that I'm using here to create also the racing system for you let you know, guys, okay? So let me show you here. Just a second. So just a second here, I want to check your comments because I'm missing some of them. So I want to be sure that I'm going to have two screens, one in my cell phone and one in the computer. Okay, so now, and this is a little bit late, yeah, now. Now, moving back to this one, as you see, there is like, once again, this smart course of racing. The technique to create this and to get a point is the same that I showed you before. The difference is that the areas are going to be these ones, and the checkpoints are going to be around the arena, so each time that the player passes with is going to do the checkpoint. And once you complete the old checkpoint area, you will get the point, okay? So it's the same system that you see for the parkour, but instead of placing the checkpoints in some different hills, it's in a plain situation. So once more, I won't be able to get the point if I only do this. For getting the point, or the coin, or the bonification, I need to complete all the way through the main field to get that extra point. So let me show you. Okay, we are completing the way, and with this you can do like different mini games for players. And as you see, that's the only way that I can get the coin. If I move around here, I'm not going to get any coin, okay? So let's move back to the presentation, guys. Okay, so now we know how to do some games, okay? Correct? And now we have some games that we made with triggers. Now we are going to learn how to create some this class schedule that you can see in the top of my screen most of the times, that is going to reward the players after the class ends, and it's going to let the players know where they can assist, okay? So for this we are going to use scripts, guys. So I know that most of you are very happy to use scripts because you can do most advanced things, but it's like kind of complicated for most of the people. Don't worry, I'm going to show you how simple it is to use those scripts. Okay, so for this you will need to use a specific kit of scripts, okay? And for this I create a script for you. So I'm going to copy this information, I'm going to paste it in the comments. You need to open this website. Also, the website is right here in the comments of the video. So if you want to check the description of the video, you will be able to find that information too, okay? So what you are going to do with this, I need you to open that website. Okay? And let me show you what you are going to do when you open that website. When you open it, what you are going to do, you are going to see this screen. Let me show you the full screen here. Right here, you will be able to see my screen in full screen. So you are going to be able to find these scripts right here, and you are going to have two of them. The one that says class schedule core and class schedule database. So what you are going to do, first you are going to copy just the one that says schedule. For this, just hit on that name and you are going to find this. What you need to do is to copy this text. Okay. Once you copy this text, what you are going to do is you are going to access to your map right here. Okay. And you are going to select again developer tools. This time you are not going to use the trigger tab, you are going to use the script one. On here you are going to rename it and set up something like general. And now what you are going to do is to create a new script. You are going to delete all the information that is placed by default here. For doing this, just hit on the trash icon, then paste. As you see, it's going to have some colors. It's going to have a description. I'm going to help you out to set up this later. For now, just save it, change the name, and set up this as a class database, okay? Now, after you import this one, you are going to create a new one. We are going to do just the same. We are going to delete the default codes. We are going to switch back to the page that I opened for you. You are going to go back, and this time you are going to select the one that says class schedule core. And what you are going to do with class schedule core is just the same. You are going to copy everything. Be sure that everything is copied, because if we left just like a symbol, this script is going to give you some errors, okay? So be sure that you copy everything. Once you have everything copied, just by copy, you are going to move back to MiniWord and you are going to paste it. And you are going to have all this thing. And don't worry, we are going to save first. Now you are going to rename it and you are going to hit here, class core. So now that we have the two files, let me explain the difference. Class database is something simple that you can edit to change the name of the classes, to change the time, and to change the rewards. In the other side, class core is the actual script that is going to do all the work. So mainly you don't have to worry to just change things inside class core, just change the things inside the database, okay? And for changing things, let me explain how it's going to work. So just for you to be able to see a little bit more bigger the code in the screen, I'm going to open this and I'm going to create a new code and I'm going to copy just the same information that you have. So this screen is divided. At the beginning you are going to see that there's some information. Everything in green is some information. Don't delete or change that information. You are going to move directly to the part that is under this separator that says setup. And what you are going to have is like these different lines of code. Very important, the only thing that you need to do to change the class that is made by default is changing the name and the description for your class. Okay? So as an example, you have like some description here. This specific line of code is going to be these groups are going to be the setups for the classes that you are going to have, the class schedule. So as you see here, we have class 1 that is going to be all this group of code. We have class 2 that is going to be this group. We have class 3 that is going to be this group. And to let you know, this is very easy to edit. The only thing that you need to do is, if you want to keep the same classes, just go ahead and edit it. If you want to create classes from zero, you can do it. For creating classes from zero, the only thing that you need to do is delete everything except one of these blocks. When you have one block like this of text, you are going to select first on this specific line. So you are going to say that says class name on here. This is like the description. Okay, so this line is going to be the class name. This one is going to be the class time that takes. This is going to be the class description, and this is going to be the award for this class, okay? So to change a class, the only thing that you need to do is to change the information for the name that is inside two specific icons or items, or sorry, characters. Be sure that you didn't delete it. So inside of that, you are going to change whatever text you want. So live class example as an example. In the second one, you are going to see a number. The number is the amount of time that the class is going to take to start, okay? So remember that this is going to be in seconds. So in this 60 seconds is going to be 1 minute, 120 seconds is going to be 2 minutes, and 180 is going to be 3 minutes. So as the example, just to show you, we are going to place 60 and it's going to have 60 seconds. This is going to be the description for the class. So as an example, I'm going to send you are going to place the description or the instructions for the players in this part, but as an example, I'm going to say hello to you guys. So let's say hello Nikita Gacha from MiniWord. One of you in the comments on the live chat. And right here, what you are going to see is the class reward. The class reward is going to be how many money it's going to get the player when the class ends. So let's say 200. Okay, now let's say 60 coins for just finishing the class, okay? Right now, we are going to have only one class. So let me copy and paste here our codes. So right now we only have one class. We are going to save it. And right now we already have the class schedule. Let me show you. As you see on the top, you are going to see here that says class live example. And when we start the class, it's going to provide us like the instruction of hello Nikita, this is the code, please follow the instructions, whatever you want to place here. Okay? And now let me show you. As you see, we have the example here, and when the time finishes, it's not going to do anything yet because we didn't set up the other things, but that's how you change the class, okay? So now, to be able to actually receive the award and everything, the only thing that you need to do is to now hit class core. Remember, we were editing class database, now we are going to edit class core. And in class core, we need to change some specific things for this class. Later, we are going to change the others. For now, just this one. So here where it says global item coin, okay, what you are going to do is that you are going to change global item coin. You are going to select it. You are going to hit here where it says ID library, and you are going to select item. And this is going to show us this screen. This will allow us to place the actual icon or item that we create, and the coin is going to be this one. So as you see, the number here changed. Okay, so you need to have that number on there and just hit on saved. Now let's move to the database class. Okay. And what we are going to do is that we are going to create a second class, okay? As an example, for having two different classes, and for you to be able to see it, each class is going to last only 10 seconds, okay? The second class is going to have for now, class example number 2, or class, let's say something different. The name of the class is going to be mini-words is cool, okay? The award is going to be, like, say, 10 coins. The time is going to be also 10 seconds, so you will be able to notice the change. And this time we are going to say here whatever text you wanted to put in, okay? Now we are going to change, very important for the second class, the only thing that you need to do is to change this number here. So class 1 is going to be the number 1, class 2, of course, is going to be the number 2. And just save it, and let's play it. As you see, we have 10 seconds to start the class. When the class finishes, it's going to provide you some award. As you see, we have the award here. I received 60 coins. And now it's going to start the second class. The class name is mini-word. And as you see, as we don't have more classes, it's going to start the other class again. So remember, guys, you can just copy and paste the code that I put in there very easily. Or you can actually add your own classes. You can change the names, you can change whatever you want to put. And with that, you are going to be able to have this class available, okay? So as you see, editing on this one is not that much complicated. The only thing that you need to do is to change that information, okay? So now let me, just to be sure for you to be able to see the two different classes, let me do oh yeah, no, you're seeing my screen, so I just wanted to be sure. So now for this class, we already covered this part about the basic interactions like this. Now we are going to create or move to the next part. Let me take a little bit of water first. Okay, guys. So for this, the next part is going to be to create the stores, okay? So I noticed that some of you what do you mean when it's not half in the room? You mean the code, how to enter the code for copy it? Okay, not a problem. So check my screen. To enter the code or to copy the code, first you need to access to the website that I place in the comments, right? When you access to the website, you are going to see this screen. Remember first to select database. Then you are going to copy all this information. Remember to copy everything. Then you are going to move to mini-word. And to be able to put the code, you need to hit here where it says, where you have an icon with a small pencil on it. You are going to select scripts. When you select scripts, you are going to be able to place a new code just by hitting here where it says in the center, create new script. With that, you are going to have this screen and you have to delete everything. So for delete it, just hit here. And now you only copy and paste. So now you need to paste the code. Okay, so if you are in a cell phone or something similar, just use paste. And with that, you are going to have all the code here and just save it. So as you see, the first one needs to be called database. Once you complete database and copy database, you need to go ahead, go back on here and copy the other one that says core. It's very important, this system works with both of them. So the second one that you are going to copy is the one that says core. Just do the same and you are going to be sure that you are going to have both of them when you are going to see database with all the information and core right here, okay? Now, that I don't know if that answered your question. I hope so. So now, for setting up the third part or the third point of the presentation, let me switch to the presentation back. Okay. So now that we already covered like the first two that it was like playing mini games and have some scripts, we are going to set up the developer store. So You already are providing some ways for the player to get money, correct? Now we are going to provide another way to get the money, but get it with like more coins, more, because if you are developers, you are going to be able to get some extra money. For this, we are going to create some new items, okay? We are not going to create the coins directly because the coins going to give the players only one coin. So for this, we are going to hit right here in plugin. We are going to go where it says props, and we are going to create new props, okay? So as an example, hit create, okay? Now select as a new one and select misc. Misc is going to be this one, the icon that looks like a feather. And what it's going to ask is provide like an item that doesn't do anything. It's just an item with an icon and some description. So we are going to create a coin pack. Let's say 100 coin pack to the player. The description is going to be put this item to get 100 coins, okay? And let's highlight some information on it. So as an example, this is going to be in color green, and we are going to provide a green color also to the top, so the player will know that, or will result in the other. We need to select an icon for this one. Remember that you can use whatever is here, or you can use a custom item, okay? So as I already have some miniatures here, I'm going to use this one. No, let's see, yes. Let's use this one that is going to look like as a gift. And yeah, we are going to do the next thing. We are not going to do anything with this, it's just a dummy. We are going to save it, and we are going to add that specific item to the game, okay? Remember, we need to enter again to the game to be able to play with it. And now, let me show you what we are going to do. We are going to add this item to the store. For doing this, you only need to hit here. So probably some of you guys didn't have this icon. That means that you are not developers if you don't have it. To have it, you need to actually have at least one map in the feature section. So remember guys, if you don't have this specific one, you won't be able to do this part of the process to get real money. So you need to get first your developer certification. For this, you need to have one map in feature. Maybe this map that you are going to create after we complete the class is going to be the one that you are going to have, okay? So select here. When you select this specific store, you are going to have this new menu. We are going to hit add, and on here we can add an item to the store. So we need to select the item that we just created, that it was this one, the 100 pack mini coins. We are going to select the price. We can choose only mini coins, we can choose mini beans, you can get it with mini points or with mini points in coins. My personal taste is going to be better for mini coins. We are going to add a tag to it. We can say trending, and it's going to have a label here that says trending. And for the price, you can set up the price here. You can set up whatever you want, okay? So my recommendation is don't select a very high price in mini coins, but in mini points you can select a little bit more. So let's say 120 is going to be the price for this one, okay? And for a mini coin price, let's say it's going to be 1. Okay, no, let's, yeah, 1. We are going to save it, and as you see, we already have the item here. Once we save it, the players will be able to use real money to get this item in singular players. So check this. If I hit here in the store, okay, it's going to take a little bit to update, but this is going to work only for you to know in multiplayer, okay? But let me see if I enter again to the game. It's supposed to be on there. No, it's not there yet. And sometimes it takes a little bit to update the store. Sometimes it didn't save, so yeah, this time didn't save. So you need to be sure that it's completely saved and test, because sometimes this happens, okay? That's normal, guys, don't worry about it. Let's change the color to normal. Let's say this time new. Let's save it. Okay, I see. So in this point, it's not allowing me to share because this map is not shared yet. But let me show you a quick look about how it works, okay? So let me switch back to MiniWord. And yeah, let me show you with this one that is already shared, so you will be able to see how it works, okay? So, one moment. Hi, good morning, Captain Word. How are you? Okay, so this is how it's going to look once you complete this process. As you see here, we have like the different kind of coins that we can use to get more money inside the game. And you can get these coins directly. For to do this, once more, what you need to do is just hit on this specific icon in the top, if you have the permissions. Hit on an item, select the item here. As an example, we can select a key, a VIP key. With the VIP key, you are going to have this different information here. We can choose the selling price. We are going to select, as an example, for mini coin price is going to be for 1 coin, and for this one is going to be 100 coins, okay? Let's move this one, it's a little bit sensible. Yeah, 120 coins is going to be okay. And as you see, the VIP room key is going to be there. Just save it. And right now the key is, yeah, this time it saves because we have developer tools on this one, okay? So if I hit play mode, and I hit right here, I will be able to see the VIP room key, okay? For now, that's the information that I'm going to teach you how to do about how to create this specific part, okay? In the next classes, I'm going to teach you how to actually make a different kind of stores. For now, I just want you to know how you can get the real money into MiniWord, okay? So, moving next to the next part of the presentation. Now that we already know how to create or get real money with MiniWord, we are going to look the rooms. What I mean when look the rooms, that means that the players won't be able to access to the specific room if they didn't like get the key or paid for the key, okay? So for this example, we are going to use this specific room, okay? Very important. Notice that the room has a door, but you don't actually need it. We are going to set up all these areas so players won't be able to join if they don't pay for having access to this room, okay? To be able to do this, just like as the before options, we are going to select the area. We are going to cover all the area that covers the room. So we are going to start by here, and we are going to finish on the top on the roof, okay? Once we are on the roofs, we have all this area covered. What we are going to do is to create also a location. The location needs to be around the door, and we are going to change the name for them, okay? So this is going to be named as a room 1. The location is going to be also named as a room number 1, okay? Now, another thing that we need to start before I start coding is that we are going to need to create the item, okay? So to create the item, select add. Okay, we are going to create just a basic item. So create, hit create. We're going to select again on this one and then in MISC. And what you are going to do is that you are going to create a specific item, and you can use your miniature library to be able to find which specific model you are going to have. As I already designed some keys, I'm going to use the keys that I designed for another map. Or you can actually use whatever item you want. As an example, if it's a technological school, you can use a card. Whatever you want is going to be okay. So I'm going to select this one just for saving some time. I'm going to say room key. Remember that you are going to choose your model. Let's say room 01 key. Allow you to access to the room number 1, okay? Now, this you are going to change it to only one. We only want the player to have one key. We are going to save it. We are going to add it into the game. For this, just hit on here and hit add. Now the room key is going to be on there, okay? So we already have the requirements for doing this specific trigger. The only thing that you need to do is to go to triggers again. Remember, you are in the scripts, you are going to hit triggers. We are going to create a new trigger set here, a new group of triggers that is going to be named as a rooms. We are going to change the name for this one as a room number 1. And then we are going to create the next thing. So we are going to hit again the events, a player area. We are going to select the area. Remember to choose the same area that is going to be room 1, guys. The area that we just create. Once you are in there, you are going to add a condition. And the condition is that the player needs to have an item in the hand, okay? So, let me check. This one is going to be... Okay, so it's going to be held item type, and the player needs to have the key in the hand to be able to access. So we are going to select the tool. We are going to select the tool that we just create. That is going to be the room key. For now, something happens because we are not able to see the room key. Okay, I think I know what happens. Then let me see. Yes, we need to enter the game to be able to see the key. Let's wait a minute. Okay, and yeah, right here we are going to now select the right key. So we are going to select coin, template library, custom, and we are going to select the room key number 1. Now we are going to select no. So that means if the player doesn't have this key in the hand, we are going to send a message to the player that says you need the key to access. Okay, so you can choose whatever message you want to do, but please always let the player know. Also create a sound effect for him, and for this is going to be a sound in the player to let the player know that something is missing. So select mark and select a sound that sounds like something is not working fine. So like this one, it's actually like an error. I think this one is like an alert, and player will know that something is not working fine. Now, what we are going to do is to make the player go to the other location. So select player in here and change location. For this, we are going to change the location to the location that we just create for the room, that is this one. And we are ready. So now we are going to test. For this, I'm going to place the key right here. Just to be sure that the player is going to be able to do it. Okay, and now we are going to place the key on it, so I will be able to pick it up when I'm in normal game. We are going to put it on there, and we are going to play the game. Okay, so right now, if I try to access the room, okay, something is happening here. It's not allowing me to. Let me do a check. Yeah, this is not working for some reason. Let me do a double check over the key. Okay, it's not detecting me. That's strange. Let's see if this is going to solve it. I see. So as you see, guys, it's not going to allow me to access. If I have the key, it's going to teleport me outward from the room, okay? But right now it's not well working because for some reason this is not going to work fine. So let's see, pliers. Yes, the plier needs to have this item. Let's see if this time it works. It's strange, but it seems it's not going to work with this one. Let me change a couple of conditions here. Let's see. The item type is going to be, once more, custom this one. This one we are going to choose no. That is going to be the most, always the same. And let me see. For some reason. Okay, if I have an item. Okay, I see. So as you see, right now it's not allowing me to access. But if I have the item here, it will allow me to access to the room. Also, that's going to work if I'm outside of the room. So as an example, instead accessing from here, I'm going to access from the outside. So let's place here a block right here. All right. So once more, as this is going to work for all the room, if I'm here, if I try to access for another part, it's not also going to let me access. But if I get the key here, it's going to allow me to access. Okay, see guys? So that's how you create a locking room, so players won't be able to access unless they complete the process. Now that we already set up some rules, we are able to get coins, and we are going to create a couple of things more, okay? So the final thing that I want to show you is how to get some limits for your map. And when I mean some limits, that means that the player cannot exit from that area, okay? And how you're going to do that? It's very simple. With the scripts, we can set up the limits from our map, and we can place unlimited limits. So we can do a 1000 for 1000 map, and we will be able to use this script, okay? So for be able to do this, also let me switch now to full screen. What I need you to do is to go to once again to my scripts, the link that I send you in the comments, in the real-time chat. This time we are going to just go ahead and access to this one that says out of the game, okay? So when you select out of the game, you are going to have this small script. You are going to copy it. Then you are going to access again to MiniWord. So remember to copy, just hit copy. And in MiniWord, just hit where it says the developer tools, switch to scripts, add a new script, delete all the information inside, paste the content, and inside of this, you are going to have this one, okay? So we need to set up this. We have like 4 variables here. When we set up those 4 numbers, we will be able to use it automatically. In this one, you don't need to change anything. And how do you do that? It's very simple. Imagine that the limit for our map is going to be this one. So the area that is with a different floor. We need to just stay over one of the sides, and you are going to hit this key, the M key, or the map, the minimap right here. And with that, you are going to have this new screen. This new screen has something that says coordinates, okay? So in coordinates, you need to take note. Right here, it says -38 and 28. You see, they're separated by a comma here. Let me show you a little bit more in the screen right here. All right? So what does it mean? -38 means the axis X, and -28 means the axis Z. So how it works in MiniWord? In MiniWord, there are 2 axes. This specific axis, or this address, or this location, and there's also going to be another one that is going to have a number or a coordinate that is going to be this one, okay? Oh, let's see, I placed the color there, it wasn't, so it's, let's say, blue is going to be one of them that is facing that direction, or the direction that is backwards, so that means that says, or the red one that is going to be looking that direction or looking this one, okay? So one of them is going to have one number and a max number. So as an example, this is going to be 0, 0. If I move to this block, it's going to be in this axis, the number x1, x2, x3, x4, x5, x6, and whatever you want to say in that direction to the infinity. And in this direction, starting from 0, is going to have the same, but in negative value. So that means this is going to be -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, and minus infinity. Right here is just the same, okay? So what you need to do is, by just copying this information that you are going to get with the map, you are going to know what are going to be the different coordinates for your map. So in this case, the first number is the number x, and the second one is the number z. Okay, so what you need to do is you are going to just stand over one of the corners of your map, and you are going to take note of the numbers. Then you are going to move to the exact opposite corner. It doesn't mean this one that is going to be the same. It needs to be the opposite one. So just cross like transversal this part, and when you are in this part, you are going to do the same, and you are going to take note of the numbers. So x in this point is going to be -13, and z is going to be 13, okay? So we have two coordinates here. Now we are going to open the script that we just created for the outbound, and we have some specific variables here. So limit x is the minimum value of x. So take the number, the smallest number in your xy. So it's a little bit confusing, but -38 is going to be lesser than -13. And that's going to happen when you have numbers. When you have this minus symbol here, you have to invert the thing. So that means that this number is going to be bigger, or is going to be greater than this one, okay? For the normal numbers, the numbers that are not going to be having the minus before the number, is going to be in the opposite way. So as an example, if those numbers didn't have like the symbol, it's going to be 13 is lesser, sorry, yes, it's going to be lesser than 38, okay? So in this case, check here, the minimum value, it's -38. So we are going to change this. -38 is going to be here as -38, okay? Now, the number -13 is going to be the max value, or the greater value. So we are going to place it on here. So limit x is going to be the max. Limit x, is going to be the minimum. Limit x2 is going to be the max. And same happens for z. So in z, we have the opposite way. So 28 is bigger. So we are going to use 28 here. And 13 is going to be lesser because it doesn't have like the minimum value here. Just save it. Stay inside the map and just play. So as you see, I can move freely around this area, but if I pass the limit, I'm going to die, okay? And that's very important, guys. You need to be sure that your player, after reborns, it needs to be in the same area, because if it doesn't, each time that the player dies, it's going to reborn outside the area and it's going to die again. Check this, yeah, as you see. So once again, let me show you once again that I can move freely around the area. Can move freely around the area, but wherever I reach the limit, I'm going to die. Okay, guys, and that's how you can set up the limit for your maps. So let's move back to the presentation. Now that we already know this information, we already finished the class, okay, guys? So, very important for you guys, remember that in the next class, we are going to check some extra features. The next class is going to be the next week. This is the last class of this week. I just want to know in the comments if you have some questions. Remember to join to the Discord group. And remember to assist to the next classes, just join to this class for this. you can just follow the channel, just hit on the subscribe button. And also, if you want to leave some likes or something, it's going to be cool because we can increase the algorithm for this channel and we will be able to reach more players, okay? For now, I'm going to provide you some codes, guys. So give me a second, I'm going to get those codes for you. One second, and now please, if you have some questions, you'll let me know in the chat, okay? All right, it's loading, guys, and yeah, so check the codes that I'm going to provide in the description. Okay, so here we go. So go ahead and you can climb those codes, okay? And yeah, thank you so much for assisting the class, guys. Thank you so much. Remember that the next class is going to be the next week, and thank you so much. Remember the code here, and remember also that in the Discord channel, I will be able to help you out if you need some help. So just write me in the Discord channel, and I will be more than happy to provide you some help. And yeah, guys, see you for the next class. Thank you so much for assisting.